Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Werise Wellness Podcast. Today, we have Dr. Sween Saini with us. Dr. Sween Saini is a psychotherapist, counseling expert, career consultant, and a parenting coach. She has been serving masses throughout the globe since 1991 through her trainings. She has groomed thousands of youngsters across the globe and even in the remote villages of India. She is the founder of mentorz with the tagline, "We coach your soch." She also runs an NGO which supports free education to orphans and meritorious students from weak financial backgrounds. She has also worked with Dr. Kiran Bedi on drug de-addiction programs in slum areas. She has received various national and international awards for her global contributions, and we are so delighted to have you here today, Dr. Sween. So welcome to the episode, and thank you so much for agreeing to come to this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neetu, and I completely appreciate your initiative to talk about mental health through your platform, as you have been connected to so many people working in corporate and other scenarios. So in today's challenging times, it's very, very important to talk about this. I'm privileged to be part of this show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So tell me, Dr. Sween, what are some common misconceptions about mental health that you would like to address, from your personal experience?
Yeah, since last 32 years, I am into this sector, starting from the counseling to drug de-addiction and then mental health sector. So, all people with mental illness are crazy. This particular thought disturbs me a lot. Terms like crazy, cuckoo, and insane, they are all hurtful words that feed into traditional stereotypes of mental illness.
Absolutely.
So they perpetuate this idea that mental illness is wild, uncontrollable, and always severe, which makes people stigmatic about it. Though in reality, mental illness and mental health disorders fall on a big spectrum, and they can range from mild to more severe and even come and go. So mental illness is not a crazy thing. It is a condition. Number two, mental illness makes people violent. In earlier times, definitely schizophrenia, other psychotic disorders, especially have a reputation for violence. जबकि ये तब होता है due to bad traumatic environmental scenarios, neglect by the family, and lack of support, bully, or some other negative scenarios. Otherwise, people with mental health, they are not violent. Another myth about mental health is if a person has a mental health condition, it means the person has low intelligence. They can't be successful in any field. जबकि fact ये है कि mental illness, like physical illness, can affect anyone, regardless of intelligence, their social class, or income level.
So true, so true. I'm so happy somebody is talking about all this because I have seen so much stigma around this that, even if I talk about my stress issues, I remember one of my old friend, I create a lot of content on social media. An old friend, he called me and he was like, what are you writing on social media these days? That's so insane. I mean, it doesn't look like you have any problem. Why are you writing that? I said, that's the same reason I'm writing about, because I want people to know that there is no stigma around it. It's okay to not be okay, and to share with others, so that they can also express themselves.
You are so right, dear. Even I have been told by all my well-wishers and family friends that you only need to talk to them who have mental health condition. Why you are talking to everybody and you are trying to put it on your all social medias? So because they don't know, everyone can take active steps and engage in healthy habits to optimize their physical as well as mental health. So, and one another myth I would love to address here, because in the youngsters, especially in teenagers or adolescents, what they call it mood swings. So they say that this is all about their hormones and age. It is nothing about mental health. Jabke 9 out of 10 teenagers or adolescents, they are suffering from any kind of mental stress and suicidal ideations.
Right.
And one another thing I would like to say, a mental health condition is a sign of weakness. If the person were stronger, they would not have this condition.
Yes, I think that is a very big myth.
Exactly. So a mental health condition has nothing to do with this being weak or lacking willpower. Yeah, it is not a condition people choose to have or not to have. In fact, recognizing the need to accept help for a mental health condition, this requires great strength and courage.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
anyone can develop a mental health condition, so we should be very much sensitive about giving any generalized statement about it.
And Dr. Sween, I think these days the major concern that I have seen with people, because I take a lot of workshops around stress elimination, is the problem of insomnia. People are not able to sleep. So what do you think, is the relation between mental health and sleep? Would you like to shed some light on that?
Yeah, we all know that sleep is important to a number of brain and body functions, and sleep helps maintain cognitive skills in psychological language, attention, learning, memory. Everything can be deteriorated with poor sleep. But for some, skipping sleep is a sign of strength and productivity. And trust me, I used to be one of them.
Me too. I used to be one
So I
of
used
those.
to be bossed off about this. But as a health professional, now we are calling and crying for cultural shift in the way we think about sleep.
I think sleep, leads to major
Exactly.
burnout. And in corporates, I think we are like 80-90% people are facing burnout and they don't even realize. Tell us
Exactly.
some preventive measures for, this
Yeah,
burnout thing.
actually, sometimes there are two chronotypes, night owls and early birds. It totally depends if people, they are very well off with working late at night. But in modern scenarios, as you said, biological clock has completely disturbed due to longer work hours, constant access to social commentary and entertainment, and increased stressors. They all contribute to people getting less sleep. तो अगर हम टिप्स की बात करते हैं तो if there is a severe stage of insomnia, then CBT is there, cognitive behavior therapy. Otherwise, agar daily hum preventive measures देखें, तो try to keep a consistent sleep cycle or schedule, you can say. And, set a bedtime. I always prefer that you need to set a proper bedtime that is early enough for you to get at least 7 hours of sleep. And if you are having a trouble falling asleep, don't stay on your bed. Try to engage yourself in some activity like meditation, listening to song, reading a book, so that your brain get tired and you may go to sleep easily. Like lying on the couch and just looking at the screen, waiting for the sleep. This is the most dangerous scenario we are observing in youngsters these
Yeah,
days.
people don't realize the, release of melatonin because of the screen habits, and melatonin does not, get secreted until, you get rid of it.
Exactly.
So,
And increased dose of caffeine and nicotine that has been worked like a fuel in this, especially limit alcoholic drinks before bed, that should be recommended. So हम लोगों का जो lifestyle हो गया है, especially corporate culture में और youngsters में, that is very alarming as far as sleep is concerned. तो पता तो सबको सब कुछ है, frankly, but apply नहीं होता. So knowing is not enough. This is the high time to take action. I would like to request all the listeners to take proper action in this regard.
so
Yeah.
sleep is one very important factor, in maintaining your well-being, I would say, rather than mental health. What other, things that you can say we can incorporate in our daily life as a routine, which would help us manage a stress-free life?
Say no whenever you want to say no. Like keeping healthy boundaries and perfection जो syndrome है उसको थोड़ा सा हटाना पड़ेगा.
That is superb advice. Super. I mean, I have been in that space when I wouldn't say no, but now I've started saying no, like left, right, center, because I'm very focused on things that I need to do. I think that's profound. Please carry on.
Yes, prioritizing your health, physical as well as emotional, that is very important. We neglect so much to emotional health, जिससे हमारा burnouts होता है. And ask for flexibility in routines whenever and whatever is required. Take breaks, invest in relationship and social connections. Social connections, they are just like energy, oxygen to our life. So that need to be practiced with self-compassion also. So, communicate boundaries so you can truly unplug. Unplug from toxicity, negativity, and unnecessarily burden, unnecessarily gossip, backbitching. छोटी छोटी चीजों का ध्यान रखेंगे तो बहुत बड़े बड़े बदलाव आ सकते हैं।
डॉक्टर स्वीन, कहने सुनने में बड़ा आसान लगता है, बट हाउ डू यू थिंक दैट वन कैन एक्चुअली बी मोटिवेटेड टू incorporate this in life? Because see, everybody is listening gyan everywhere, but what is it that would make the real difference? Do you think when we are passing on the gyan, we should pass on that as well, if that is helpful for the audience?
सी अगर मैं सेल्फिश ना भी कहूँ तो फिर भी सब सब लोग आजकल थोड़े थोड़े सेल्फ अवेयर और सेल्फ कंसर्न तो हैं। वो इतना ज्यादा निग्लेक्ट ऑफ सेल्फ नहीं रहा है। सो वी कैन मेंटेन ए कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस कि कुछ भी कर रहे हैं तो उसका कॉस्ट क्या है और बेनिफिट क्या हो रहा है। Choices versus consequences, this is mantra of my life. I give every youngsters this thing. Even in case of my daughters, I have nurtured two beautiful daughters who are now well responsible adults. So we have always given them, these are the choices, list it out, these are the consequences, maybe positive or negative. So pick choices accordingly, keeping in mind your consequences. So that is the best thing we can do. उसमें हमें किसी की preaching की और ज्ञान की जरूरत ही नहीं रहती है। अंदर से पता होता है कि इफ आई एम टेकिंग दिस एक्शन तो आई नीड टू फेस दिस कॉन्सिक्वेंस।
Right, makes sense, and I think it's more about mindset also. Let's
एग्जैक्टली।
start working on the mindset. Just don't let life move on the way it is forever. If you want different results, you have to take different actions. And the reason we do this podcast, the reason we create content around this whole concept, is so that something can make you take that action. So I think that's why you and me are sitting here and trying to talk it out, to try and make an impact in those people's life who are watching this podcast, hopefully so.
Here I would like to add one thing. Once one of my friend told me कि stress these days is a fashion actually. पता है सब लोग boast off करना चाहते हैं, मुझे बड़ा stress है, I'm so tense, मुझे बड़ी anxiety होती है। So हमारे जो youngsters हैं, they have picked these statements from adults only. और एक्चुअली ये कहते कहते करंट सिनेरियोज भी इतने चैलेंजिंग हो गए हैं कि these have been triggered so much. So we need to focus much on positives with gratitude and with positivity rather than finding out all the negatives, because psychologically, scientifically, human mind is automatically set on negative and it's always picking जो नहीं हो पा रहा है, जो नहीं मिल रहा है, लैकनेस को बहुत ज्यादा पिक करता है ह्यूमन माइंड। इन दैट वे वी नीड टू जस्ट डू द ऑपोजिट कि हम कोशिश करें वट एवर इज फिल्ड इन आवर ग्लास वी शुड फोकस ऑन दैट।
यस, आपने इतने लोगों को मेंटोर किया है डॉक्टर स्वीन, सो कुछ एक कुछ स्टोरी आप जो शेयर करना चाहेंगे जहां पर आपको लगा कि रियल एक इम्पैक्ट आया और एक्चुअली दैट पर्सन हैज चेंज्ड, so that we can also feel that inspiration that okay, if that person can change, even I can. Any
Yeah.
one particular story that you would like to share
Oh my
without
God.
taking names?
This is very hard actually. Last 30, more than 30 years, I have invested in people's lives, transforming them from their lowest moods to the most productive phases of life. And
Maybe just share a general insight of your
yeah,
30 years experience, so that the audience can relate to
yeah.
that things do change for better, and yeah, that would be
I
really
always
helpful.
say that you must be in that mindset, as you said, that is the right word, to seek help and to change yourself. And Swami Vivekanand used to say, अगर आप कुछ नहीं बदलेंगे तो कुछ नहीं बदलेगा. So first of all, you should be in that acceptance. Denial is deadly and damaging. So जो लोग भी acceptance में थे कि yes, I need this training, I need this counseling, I need psychotherapy, they have been contributed in their own transformation better than those who have been pushed by their families or friends to me.
Okay.
And once they come to me, I first of all let them be in that acceptance phase. So acceptance के बाद आपका जो है वो adaptation और application का ही stage रह जाता है कि whatever strategies we are telling, जो adapt करके apply करता जाता है, definitely they can feel that transformation from inside. आपका सरेंडर करना और उसको अप्लाई करना बड़ा जरूरी होता है। एंड मैं आपको एक ऐसा एग्जांपल पर्टिकुलरली जो इमीडिएटली मेरे माइंड में हैमर कर रहा है तो वो मैं आपको बता सकती हूँ। द boy is in Canada now. So earlier also when he migrated there, within 6 months of staying there, he went into some relationship and sincere wala usko attachment hua. But that girl was not so much emotionally attached. She was just taking advantage of that guy's IT skills and other good skills. So he was so much into it that when she rejected her or ignored her, he could not manage. So he especially came back to India. He took sessions. Within 6 sessions, he could find out the life purpose. Otherwise, he was into severe suicidal ideation. And when he reached back within next 6 months, he completed backlog of 2 semesters within 3 months.
Wow. Wow.
And then now he's so much determined to fulfill his own dreams as well as dreams of his family. So yesterday, why it came into my mind suddenly, because yesterday only his father came and he most of time he frequently visits. After that he said, आपने बच्चे को बचा लिया, आपने हमारे जो घर का चिराग है वो बचा लिया. So किया हमने कुछ भी नहीं है, like वो that was a spark inside which was fused due to that current scenario or some tragedy in his life.
Many a times you just need that some other person to spark your light. I think that's what coaches and mentors are for. And there's no harm in reaching out to them, to the right people who can help you. And I have taken help, and I'm unashamedly to talk about it, that I have taken help.
I have also taken. I also used to talk to my mentors and everything. It's very genuine. It's very simple. It's very common.
And it's okay. I mean, I really want people to reach out for help if they think there is something. If you're not able to handle it on your own, if YouTube or Google in university is not helping, maybe you need to reach out to that right person who can help you with that.
यहाँ पे फर्क यही है कि though huge information is available on social platforms, definitely, but when you go to some specialist and talk about yourself, then you have been catered according to your own need. इतने बड़े ओशियन से अपने लिए कुछ बूंदें चुनना बड़ा मुश्किल है, और ये इंफॉर्मेशन का फ्लो पता है लोगों को और ज्यादा डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है. They are getting more confused, more overwhelmed, more like stressed about it कि क्या करूं क्या ना करूं. मुझे पता सब कुछ है पर हो नहीं रहा है, because it is not personalized plan. Every individual is different. Every individual's mindset is different. Every individual challenges are different. So that's how they need individualistic approach in seeking help also.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Thank you so much, Dr. Sween, for sharing your insights. This was a lovely discussion. And I hope the audience walks away with some kind of inspiration, motivation, and that hope of light, that things do change and change for good.
I hope so.
It's all about just reaching out to the right person and looking for, support.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll, bring this to a close. Thank you so much once again, and all the best to you and to Mind Mentors for doing such excellent work. Please keep doing the good work, and please keep us in mind so that, we can reach out to you whenever we need you.
Thank you so much. I would love to conclude with this one statement, okay, dear people, it is not a mental health treatment. It is a skill training, empowering program for individuals. So never let your mental health get down, and seek help at right time.
Thank you so much with that, Dr. Sween. Thank you. Great talking to you. Bye-bye.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.